All right, let's talk about it. It's one of the biggest milestones for so many of us in Singapore, buying your very own HDB BTO flat. Look, whether you're just starting to daydream about it or you're already figuring out your finances, we're going to break it all down for you. Let's jump right in. I mean, that's the big dream, right? Getting the keys to a place you can finally call your own. It's more than just a house. It's a huge life goal, the start of a massive new adventure.
But let's be real for a second. The whole journey can seem like a total maze. You're hearing all these acronyms, thinking about all the paperwork, and the waiting. It's totally normal to feel a bit lost or even stressed out by it all. But hey, that is exactly why we're here. Don't you worry. We're going to slice right through all that confusion and give you a super clear, straightforward roadmap to follow. Easy peasy.
So, where on earth do you even begin? Well, we're going to start with the absolute most important first step. This is the one thing you have to get sorted before you can even think about applying for a flat.
Okay, listen up, because this is crucial. Before you do anything else, you must have a valid HDB flat eligibility letter, or HFE letter. I'm going to say it again. This is mandatory. It's not optional anymore. It's your official ticket to the game, checking your eligibility for a flat, grants, and an HDB loan all in one shot. So what's this HFE letter actually looking for? Well, it really just boils down to these four main things. First, you got to have at least one Singapore citizen in the mix. Second, you have to meet the age requirements, 21 for families, 35 for singles. Third, your income has to be within the limit. And fourth, you can't own any private property. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of those income caps, because this basically decides which flats you can even apply for. For a 4 or 5 room flat, your total household income can't be more than $14,000 a month. For the smaller 2 or 3 room flats, it's usually around $7,000. And hey, if you're planning on living with your parents or in-laws, that ceiling gets bumped up to $21,000. Makes sense, right? And this next part is a big one, so listen closely. You can't own any private property, not just here in Singapore, but anywhere in the world. And this is the kicker, you also can't have sold any private property in the last 30 months before you apply. This rule is super strict, so make sure you've got your timeline sorted. All right, HFE letter is in hand. You are officially in the game. Now we get to the really exciting part, actually applying for your new home. Okay, so the BTO system runs like clockwork. You can expect HDB to launch new projects 4 times a year, usually in February, May, August, and November. So you can basically mark your calendar and know exactly when to start looking out for new launches in the areas you like. Once a launch goes live, a 1-week countdown begins. That's your window to get your application in online. It's a pretty simple process, and it only costs a $10 admin fee to throw your name in the hat. Now, let's bust a huge myth right here. Some people think you have to apply the second the launch opens. Nope, it is not a race. It makes zero difference if you apply on day 1 or on the last day. Everyone goes into a computer and it's all a random ballot. It's really just the luck of the draw. So you've applied. Now what? Well, now you wait. It can take up to 2 months after the application window closes to get your ballot results and find out that all-important queue number. Okay, imagine this. You've got a fantastic queue number. Yay! Now it's time to switch gears and get really serious about the money. We've got to make sure all your financial ducks are in a row. So you've basically got 2 main choices for your loan, an HDB loan or a bank loan. With an HDB loan, you can finance up to 80% of the flat's price. And the 20% down payment? You can pay for all of it using your CPF. With a bank loan, you can typically borrow up to 75%, but here's the key difference. At least 5% of that down payment has to be in cold, hard cash. Now, no matter which loan you go for, you're going to hear this term MSR, or mortgage servicing ratio. Think of it as a financial safety net. It's a rule that says your monthly loan payment can't be more than 30% of your income. It's actually a really good thing. It's there to protect you and make sure you don't get in over your head. And here's a little pro tip, especially for young couples. If one of you is still a full-time student or doing national service, check out the Deferred Income Assessment scheme. It lets you apply for a flat now, but your income for loans and grants gets checked later, right before you collect your keys. This is amazing because it could mean you qualify for a much bigger loan once you're both out in the workforce. We've made it to the final stretch. Your queue number came up, your finances are sorted, and you're finally ready to book your flat. You are so close.
Okay, so when you go for your appointment to pick your actual unit, which is super exciting, you'll need to pay what's called an option fee. It's basically like a deposit to lock in your choice. It's $500 for a 2-room, $1,000 for a 3-room, and $2,000 for 4 or 5-room flat. And don't worry, this money goes towards your down payment. And now for some really, really good news. I know everyone worries about the long waiting times, right? Well, the median wait time for a new BTO flat is now under 4 years. We're getting back to normal.
But wait, that's not all. It's actually getting even better than that. The government is rolling out a massive 12,000 new flats.
And get this, they'll have waiting times of less than 3 years. That's a huge deal, and it means getting those keys in your hands faster than ever before. Look, the BTO journey is definitely a marathon, not a sprint. But with a bit of planning and knowing what to expect, it's a clear path to owning your own home. That dream is absolutely within your reach. So the only question is, are you ready to take that first step?